Hello all, this is David Williams, and we're going to talk about a brief, and actually not a brief subject. I'm going to be brief about it, but it's a very, very important thing because we're going to be discussing slavery as is described in God's Word. And we're going to look at this from the perspective of God and his dealings with mankind. So I'm going to pick up in Ephesians chapter 6, perhaps it is. I believe it's in Ephesians chapter 6. It's right after the Lord is telling children to obey their parents and parents to properly treat their children, or to treat their children properly. And in verse 5 of Ephesians chapter 6, okay, let's understand that Paul is speaking to a nation that was initially under Grecian control. The empire of Greece used to control that area of the world. Rome came in and took over. So now Rome is the empire under which the nation or city of Ephesus is living. So Ephesus lives under under Roman rule. And Paul in verse 5 says, "Servants, be obedient to them that are your masters according to the flesh." And he goes on to say, "with fear and trembling, in singleness of your heart, as unto Christ, not with eye service as men pleasers, but as the servants of Christ, doing the will of God from the heart, with good will, doing service as to the Lord and not to men, knowing that whatsoever good thing any man does, the same will he receive of the Lord, whether he is bond, whether he's in bondage, whether he's an indentured servant under the control of another, or whether he's free." He goes on to say in verse 9, "And you masters, do the same things unto them." Let's go again. "And you masters, do the same things unto them, forbearing or withholding or abstaining from threatening, knowing that your master," also talking about God, "is in heaven, neither is there respect of persons with him." That's a mouthful. We've got to get into that. In verse 5, we hear this term servants. That word servants is a very general term that can describe people who have been conquered by another nation and are now forced to work for the citizens of the conquering nation, or they're now forced to work